The question is something that's negated to every single person. Family's going away. We want to go away, or we don't want to go away. And we have a whole family. There's other children. There's grandchildren. It's a whole corporation over here. And then you have one kip. And this kip requires a tipul, a treatment, a special treatment, which means that instead of staying home, you should go away, or instead of going away, you should stay home, whatever it is. And the question is, we have a whole organization over here, right? And the other kids are saying, listen, we have people coming in from Eretz Yisrael for Yantif, and we're coming into America. We want to be home, or we want to be there. We have a life going on. Vifel daf megeben. How much do we have to give for one kid? They could be very good kids, and they're very accommodating, but vifel this year. How much? Okay. And the other kids, the son-in-law and the daughter-in-law, this is the grandchildren. Okay. So that's why I said I want to discuss it, because it's not a simple answer. The answer is as follows. When parents come to me, they're in enormous pain. Enormous pain. Now, first of all, there's the fact that our kids are in danger physically, emotionally, psychiatrically. They don't have a future. They're not going to get married. What's going to be with them? They can't function. They're dysfunctional, right? And then there's a tremendous pain that parents have over nitzchias, olam haba. It's painful. You want your kid to be in olam haba with you. So the pain from 1 to a trillion is a trillion. And parents have said that having a kip is worse than a kid with nebuch with cancer, with yana machla. Something changes after you come here and things are calm, and we forget the value of this life. And it becomes naturally, okay, is one kid. We got a big organization here, and how much are we supposed to give to one kid? So 2 months ago or 6 months ago, this kid you weren't sleeping, you weren't eating, you bent over in pain. What's going to be with my kid? What's going to be with my kid? There is nothing else that matters. I can't breathe. Anxiety, and what's going to be, and what's going to be. And now it's like suddenly like, okay. So let's go back to the your side. You have to treat this at least as much as physical illness. Why? Because it's physical and it's spiritual. It's at least as much as physical illness. Right. So she's in physical danger because she wants to go to Colombia because drugs are legal there. So what is she going to do there? And who knows who and what's going to happen to her after she's drugged. So you have every problem. You have physical danger, mamish, pikuach nefesh mamish, and emotional, and could be rape, and could be psychiatric problems from that, and spiritual everything. And what you want to do over the next few years is to extract this chayla from the world of sayu v'vayu completely, and you want her to walk down that chuppah to get married to a stable person who's a man. Kedas Moshe v'Yisrael, like I saw tonight. Just came from a tipi wedding. Everybody should be zeicha to bring their children down the chuppah, Kedas Moshe v'Yisrael. And when they came, there was no worse kip. This was the worst situation out of all the situations. I definitely top 2%. And they never dreamed. And I told them, Be'ezus Hashem, she's going to be at the chuppah with a sheitel. And he thought I was crazy. And there was a sheitel. And it was a beautiful chuppah, and we're off to a good start. That's what you want to do. It's a lot to ask. You want to save the kid physically, take them out of danger, out of emotional danger, out of spiritual danger, and you want the whole package. You want a stable, happy, functioning, thriving, happy, from, happy, functioning, happy. You want the whole thing. So most of the answers when you have this question is going to be, if you just say, what would we do if this kid was physically ill and we needed to travel for the next 6 months to pick a hick town in the middle of nowhere? Wichita, Kansas, because they have a doctor there that has a 1% chance of treatment, what would you do? There's no Adim, there's no mother-in-law, father-in-law, there's no nothing, there's no children, no grandchildren, because nobody's life is in danger. Everybody's healthy, Baruch Hashem. They want to have a regular, normal life and stick in a chayla. Like I was once with this guy, he was telling me, I mean, it's nebuch, financial pressure is terrible. But he tells me, he goes, you don't understand. I have bills and bills and bills and bills, and he's telling me all of his bills, right? All these bills. And my daughter's going to seminary, $35,000. By the time you're done, $35,000. I don't have money for this kid. So I said, I just have one question for you. Why is this bill for this kid on the bottom? Here, put it on top and say, I don't have money for seminary. I feel bad for the girl, don't get me wrong. But this kid could die. She's not going to enjoy seminary if he dies. This is a chayla sheyesh ba sakana. This is saving a life and dairis. I'm just curious, why is this the last bill? Why isn't it the first bill? And then you'll figure out how to pay everything else. It's the same thing, not just with money. You have no other tafkid. Nothing. I would love for you to have, you're wonderful people. You should enjoy Bikesh Yaakov Leshev B'Shalva. You should enjoy these years and have the children Saviv L'Shulchanecha, and your grandchildren should come, and everything should be normal. The first part of this is, it's a wake up. It's not normal. Because you have a child in extreme crisis, extreme danger. There's nothing normal here. Life stopped. Now we are in crisis. By the way, this is called, you saw the sign on the door? It's called a crisis center. You know why? Because we're in crisis. And we can't have crisis and normal life. Ain't going to happen. And you could be masber to the children, I love you so much and I missed you so much. But now we're in crisis. And by the way, we do this naturally if we're in a hospital. Chas v'shalom, Rachmana litzlan. If she was in a hospital bed, you'd be sitting there for 5 years, sleeping on a chair and eating Satmar Bikur Chaylim food. Not Lubavitch Bikur Chaylim food, by the way. Satmar cornered the market on the Bikur Chaylim food. So the Lubavitch will put on tefillin in the morning, but the Satmar is going to bring you the applesauce and the chicken. Okay? And your friends will tell you, Wiffel darf me geben, Wiffel this year. You're sleeping on a chair and you're not functioning. Yeah, okay. You say, what do you mean? This is my child. See, but she doesn't even know if you're in the room. But when she wakes up, she should see mommy and tati. And it's pashut. And the brothers and the sisters, and they say, listen, this year it's different. Nebuch, we have a sister in danger. We have a sister who's sick. Very simple. Sister who's sick. We're going to be spending Chalamayid not at the zoo, in the hospital. It's not fair to the grandchildren. You'll work out everything. First, we're dedicated to the patient, and everything will work out as best as we can. So the first mindset has to be, we're here to save the life of a human being that happens to be your child, and B'sarcha al Tas'alim, it's their relative. We're not here, it's not a joke, number one. Number two, we want to save her to have not just life, to be alive physically, but to be functioning. To not go to countries, never a girl especially, can handle yourself in a country. Would you go to a different country? I don't go to Flatbush Avenue. They're going to go to Colombia because there's free drugs there. There's 1,000 things that can go wrong. 1,000. I don't know who's there. I guess the Colombians. They're probably Colombians there. I never met a Colombian. They're busy making, you can get her drugs over here, illegal drugs. No, Colombia, they make coffee. What else do they do over there? And the guy's going to come and he's going to see a nice Heimische kip from a nice, beautiful, from family. She's going to know how to navigate. Does she even speak Colombian? She's going to know. She's going to say, yo quiere poquito dragino. The guy's going to say, come here. Come to the back of the room. You can kill her. You can rape her. I mean, this is ridiculous. This is crazy. It's not like, they come there in the airport and they say, hey, what do you want to have? And it could be cheap stuff that's dangerous. And there's 1,000 things. And then she's taking the drugs with B'nai Shalom. Firstly, you can go to closer places where it's legal. And think about your kid. And you're all of you are such wonderful, stable people. We don't have dysfunctional people here. Your kid is saying, I'm in so much pain that I'm going to go across the world to a country that probably doesn't even have toilet paper, right? Because I need to numb my pain so bad. I mean, just how far away is she? She's going with a guy. I wouldn't go with 12 security guards trained by Tzahal. I wouldn't go with 12 Israeli guys with guns. I'd be scared to drive around Colombia looking for drugs. I mean, think about what her mindset is, how far it is from normal. How did she get so far away from reality? So besides for the danger that she's putting herself in, how messed up is her brain? There's not enough drugs in America that you can get. She has to go look for drugs. What is drugs? She's going to numb her pain. She's numbing her pain. It's a treatment. She has so much pain in her brain that if you can go find a new drug, I can numb my pain. So she's in all kinds of danger. Rahman al-Islam. Hashem should protect her from everything. But Hashem has shlichim. Hashem has messengers down here to protect them. Mommy and daddy. Mommy and daddy. That's it. Now here's the chiddush. If you don't do TP, you're not even a player. She wouldn't even tell you where she's going. She's going with her friend, crazy guy, and they could shoot him and kill her and whatever. A friend, one guy in Colombia, what's he going to do? And at best, it's successful. And she goes there for Yontif, she goes there for 2 weeks, and she numbs her brain and fries her brain and comes back. That's the best case scenario. But because you're doing TP and you have a good relationship with your kid, she's willing to play ball. She's even thinking, you know what, maybe if you guys don't stay home and pretend like life is normal, but you go out of your comfort zone and go for a fun time to Disney World or to wherever, she's saying, I'll go with you. I'm willing to forego putting my life in danger and numbing my brain with drugs because you're willing to go out of your comfort zone and have a good time. By the way, I would tell you that it's kedai, in order to save her from doing this, to put yourself in a drug-infested bedbug motel to save your daughter's life. Over here, what are we asking from you? Have a good time on vacation. What are we asking from the brothers and the sisters in the Eniklach? We're not asking them to stay in a motel in the Bronx. We're saying we're going to go out of our comfort zone. We're going to have a great time. We're going to go to wherever, Virginia or wherever, West Palm Beach or Fort Lauderdale, whatever. We're going to have a great time. We're going to spend extra money. Everybody's going to be comfortable. Everybody's getting food and sun. I don't see that they're giving up anything other than, I don't even know, a lot of people would prefer that. Now, the next piece is that they're saying that we would give up, again, I don't think it's giving up, but we would give up for her. But she's coming with her bodyguard. And, okay. The other choice is she goes with him to Colombia or Venezuela or wherever it is. This is not Ami Mishpacha magazine. This is real life. Where do you want your daughter to be? With her amigo in Colombia or with your family? He's a Haimish kid, right? He's a Jewish boy, the boyfriend. And you could be mashpia on him and influence him and hug him and give him a yontif and let him be in the... What are we supposed to be doing here? If not this. You're saving your daughter's life. You're saving this guy's life. And instead of being somewhere in Colombia, they're going to be, hopefully, at your sukkah. Now, the next piece was, what if she last minute decides not to come? Right. So you have to do your ishtadlus. And if not, then you'll say, Hashem, for some reason, orchestrated that we ended up in Malibu, California, for sukkahs. This is what's called Hashem sends us places. You are mechuyev to save her life. That means you're going to go to a place that has the highest chance that she's going to go with you, which means you're not going to Muncie. You're going to have to go to a place that's going to be so exciting for her that she's giving up, in her mind, what's amazing, which is Colombia and legal drugs. You're going to have to go to a place that's like, wow. But we're battling people, and this is not them. I'm so happy you asked me this. This is everybody out there. We're in a battle. We're fighting over neshamas. We're pulling neshamas away out of Colombia. We're pulling them out. We have a kid now, a kip, who 5-6 years ago was like totally gone, and today he's frum. He gave up his girlfriend, the Jewish girl, but she was with him in his worst days, and they love each other so much. After 4 years, he gave her up because he wants to be Shemesh Shabbos, and she's not holding by it. His parents are TP, and her parents rejected her. So, and that's how much he fought for Shabbos. He broke up with her. Can you imagine? And he's frum. And he went to Columbia Law School. It's true. I told him, I said, this is the first TP kid to end up in Columbia, but not in the psych ward. Most of the kids will end up Columbia Hospital, not in the... This is what we want. The name of the book is going to be From Columbia to Columbia. These are our tools. So many times... we have a chance to be mashpia on a kid. So many kids, they say, listen, I'm out of here for Yontif. I'm out of here. I don't care where you go. I'm going for free drugs to Colombia with my friend. You know how many Chassidish kids are going to be in Colombia, Sukkos? Do you have any idea? They're not going to be alone. They have minyanim and minyanim over there. They go there to Colombia and to Dominican Republic. And we have a chance to pull her out of that. Even a chance. You have to do it. I don't hear any shaila.